Today's video is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. Possibly the most controversial part of these videos are the polls that I sometimes do over on my Instagram story. This week I gave you 4 options and it was a very close race, but in the end, Rie's cheesy cube bread ended up edging out Babish's video by just a few percentage points. I am more than happy to give this recipe a shot. It is fairly straightforward as far as ingredients and process goes. One thing I don't have is that cube bread mold that I'm gonna have to order online and wait a few days. In the meantime though, I don't see why I couldn't give it a shot with normal everyday ingredients and pans that you all have, so let's get right into this one. Now for this first attempt, I'm going to follow Rie's process exactly, step by step. I'm just changing up the ingredients and the tools that I'm going to use. But before we can get into either version, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends over at Dollar Shave Club. Today, Dollar Shave Club has hooked me up with their Ultimate Shave Starter Set, which you can get yourself for only $5 by clicking the link in the top line of the description. In the set, you're gonna get their executive razor plus 3 tubes of their Dr. Carver shave products so you can give it a try without breaking the bank. Now if you're like me and you want to get all your shopping done as quickly as possible, Dollar Shave Club is perfect. They make it incredibly easy and affordable to shop for everything that you need in the bathroom. I highly recommend you hop over to the website, take their quiz, and that'll recommend the perfect products catered to your needs. And probably best of all, on top of their $5 offer for their Ultimate Starter Set, the more items you bundle together, the higher the discount will be. And as you'll see from the quiz, they sell a whole lot more than just shaving products. So whatever it is you need in the bathroom, they have got you covered. So if you want to support me and the channel, click that link in the top line of the description. Check out their website, check out their quiz, the $5 Ultimate Starter Set. Keep yourself smelling fresh and clean with everything that you need in the bathroom. Now as far as our first bread box attempt, I'm gonna grab some flour and unsalted butter, mozzarella cheese and sugar, some milk, some instant yeast, warm water, and some kosher salt. Now as I mentioned, everything that I'm going to be using for this first attempt is something that I think the masses will have. I'm using mozzarella cheese instead of brie. I'm using a normal white bread instead of the chocopan bread that Rie uses. And the differences with this is that number 1, you use instant yeast, so it's going to rise a lot faster. And number 2, we use normal all-purpose flour instead of the bread flour. I will leave the recipe for this normal white bread down in the description. I wouldn't say it came out amazingly. It was okay for how fast it all came together. Now, the best way I thought of making a square pan is just cutting a loaf pan in half with an oven-safe container and some tin foil. I don't know if this is gonna work, to be honest with you. I did make sure to give a very generous coating of my nonstick spray, as well as one last rise before I baked it at 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Surprisingly, this got a pretty nice color. It didn't rise as much as I thought it was going to, and it's not really a cube, but it's a square bread with cheese in it, so let's give it a taste. I don't really know what to make of this. It smells really good. Maybe that yeast was dead because it didn't really rise as much as I thought it would. It's kind of dense. Alright, this will hopefully be the money shot right here. We need some steam. We need some melty cheese. Oh. Oh, it's still raw. I think it's raw. Or unless that's just like cheese juice that's kind of made soggy bread. Oh. How did this not melt? Oh yeah, that's raw. Ugh. The part that's cooked is good. Damn, I had high hopes for this. I think if I try to put it back in now, it'll just leak right out. Honestly, this was kind of a waste of time anyway. I was just burning a few days. And I think now that we got our package delivered, we can get started on version number 2. Alrighty, the main event. Sorry for wasting your time with the first half of this. Firstly, we gotta open up our pan, which was $26 on Amazon. All I'm saying is this better work for that price. But besides that pan, you're also going to need to grab some bread flour and kosher salt, active dry yeast and sugar, some more milk and some brie cheese, unsalted butter, and some more warm water. Besides the minor change in ingredients, the process is pretty much the same here. I am very surprised that both of these recipes call for you throwing the salt in right away. I thought that kind of inhibits the yeast from working very well, but I will not question Queen Rie. She knows a whole lot more than I do. This came together really easily as well. The only very important thing to note is that your water and your liquids should be a little bit over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually aim for 105 and double check with an instant read thermometer. If it's any hotter than that, it might kill your yeast. Honestly, the look and feel of this is already much better than the last one. It's super soft, it was really easy to knead, and I'm gonna give it its first of 3 proofs under a towel and some plastic wrap. At which point I cut this mound into 3 because I halved Rie's recipe in which she made 6, so I think 3 should work proportionately. I gave that an opportunity to rise a second time before rolling it out and plopping down my brie cheese. This looks a little gross, I agree. It's not mold, it's just remnants of the outer layer that I tried to peel off. By all means, you could leave the rind on if that's your thing, but for melting purposes, I feel like I should probably remove it. I tried to pinch the seams together the best that I could and give it a third and final rise inside the bread pan this time, and we already have a mess. This thing is rising like crazy. It only took up about half of that pan, so for it to be bursting out only 40 minutes later, I don't know what's going on. I did say screw it, and just ended up baking it anyway to see what would happen, and I probably shouldn't have done that. This is honestly just a disaster at every step of the way. I don't know what I did wrong, or if this pan is just too small, but once I took it out and kind of chopped off the excess, it looked pretty cool, just still underbaked, I think. Before starting all over, I figured screw it, let's just throw it back in the oven until it's brown and see how it is. So that's what I did, and honestly, I'm not mad at this. I do think we probably lost a good portion of the cheese, but as long as there's still some in there and it tastes good, who cares? Alright, I need this to work. It's got a really nice crisp now. Even if we lost, like, a quarter or a third of the cheese, who cares? Oh no. Oh no. What the hell? What the heck? Why is there so much grease in it? Can you guys see how much oil has pooled up in the back of there? Ugh. I would say we lost more than half of our cheese. We did get a little steam, and it does smell really good. That's good. This bread is like to die for. It's got a super thin, crispy outer shell, but the interior is just so unbelievably light and fluffy. It's kind of just like a fondue box. Break off a piece of the side, give it a little dip, and there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give me a big old like. Thank you again to Dollar Shave Club for being today's sponsor. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. I will see you right back here next time. Peace.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my A-team. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.
How did this not melt? Oh yeah, that's raw. Ugh.